And we're going to hear from James Walshe of the Electronic Music Council. I think this is a fantastic project that happened last year in Cork for Culture Night Late, and it really illustrates a lot of what I've been talking about today.
Hi, my name is James Walshe. I'm a member of Electronic Music Council. We're an organisation that was founded in Cork in 2021 as a response to the difficulties faced by electronic musicians and people working in related fields during the COVID-19 pandemic. So there was venue closures, there was lack of opportunities for people to perform, and the result was a feeling of very low morale and despair across people working within our community. Our goal as an organisation is to support and facilitate events and producers of electronic music to improve their opportunities for paid work and also to improve the situation here in Cork for the people involved in the scene. In 2023, we were awarded the Culture Night Late Fund, which allowed us to put on a flagship event in Cork City Hall titled Frí Comna Híche. Frí Comna Híche had multiple parts to the event. From 9 until 11 p.m, we had an exhibition from several artists, primarily working adjacent to the electronic music culture in Cork. So you had event photographers, painters, and other visual artists, all of whom who would be creating art in response to or based on the electronic music culture in Cork. In addition, we had an ecstatic dance workshop where people could drop in and enjoy free-form dance and movement accompanied by electronic music. The final part of the event then ran from 11 until 2 a.m. And this featured a vinyl DJ performance from DJ Colleen, followed by a live audiovisual performance from renowned techno artist Hybrasil. The event was entirely alcohol-free, so it was open to all ages, which meant we had primarily 18 to 35-year-olds present, but we also had a lot of older people and people bringing their children as well. And it made electronic music accessible to a wider portion of society than would be possible otherwise, which was a major goal of ours. We received from the Arts Council was instrumental in allowing us to pull off this event. We were able to pay over €5,000 directly to the artists, and this was vital because a lot of these artists may not have otherwise gotten paid work. A lot of them were young, inexperienced, they didn't know how to get grants, etc. So providing them with paid work gave them hope and ambition that their art could bring them income. In addition, we were able to pay the highly experienced artists such as Hybrasil to complete a body of work in forming that audiovisual show for which he premiered at Culture Night in Cork City. We were also able to give a significant amount of money to people working tangentially to the electronic musicians. So, for example, the audiovisual company to provide the lighting and sound for the event received several €1,000. We also had the security company, so we were able to provide employment to 6 or 8 security guards on the night. And overall, the event allowed for a deepening, I suppose, of appreciation for electronic music in Cork. It gave people a wider variety of society and access to electronic music in a safe, alcohol-free and free event as well. So overall, this is something that hugely benefited ourselves as a community, the electronic musicians, the artists involved, but also Cork as a whole, because Cork has a long history with electronic music going back to the 90s, 80s even, and this provided a platform to bring that information to a new I suppose, to a new generation and to a wider section of society. So overall, it was a very successful event. So to give a more detailed breakdown of the finances for our Culture Night event, the overall cost of the event was in the region of €24,000. Now, that included the in-kind support that we received from Cork City Council, who provided us with the City Hall free of charge, which would normally cost in the region of €5,000 or €6,000 to hire for one night. In addition, we received sponsorship from local businesses, especially businesses working tangentially to our own industry. So we had sponsorship from businesses providing DJ lessons. We had sponsorship from a taxi company, hospitality, etc., which allowed us to improve the event a bit, but the bulk of the funding came through the Arts Council. We were able to draw down 75% of this or 80% of this before the event, which was really useful because we had a lot of upfront costs that we needed covered. So materials, we needed to pay for the marketing campaign, graphic designer, etc. So the Arts Council funding was really instrumental in allowing us to fulfill all these obligations in a timely manner, and also primarily pay the artists a fair and equitable amount. And we were able to pay them. We were able to pay them as well money towards materials. So specifically for the visual artists, we were able to pay for prints, some canvases, etc., which meant that the money the artists got then for their fee was going directly to them, and it wasn't being spent directly on resources, etc.
Okay, thank you. I really, I have said it already, but it just was a fantastic to hear from James, and I think it really showed how through that project, you know, he was really able to kind of reach new audiences that don't normally maybe get to engage in electronic music. Certainly, you could see the opportunities for you know, artists, maybe emerging artists, to have that kind of experience and where they were paid. And it was just fantastic. So thank you, James. And let's just move on now to making an application. So the first thing you need to know, and it's coming up quickly, is the deadline for these applications is the 7th of March. You should view the funding page where you can download the guidelines, FAQ document, and also download your application form. If you haven't already, you need to register with online services, register for an ARN, an artist reference number. This can really take up to 5 days, especially around a deadline. So if you don't have one yet, really start. It's a very simple process. It's just, it can take a few days to be validated. So start that now. Another thing to kind of say, because you've got your own setup at home. We have our own setup with online services. Make sure to check the guidelines for the requirements for online service, for using online services. A lot of the trouble people run into is with different kind of programs and all of that. So please check that kind of right away. The other thing is we do offer support with your application due to accessibility requirements. And again, if this is something you need, please get in touch with Vanessa Carswell as early as possible. There is a functional email here for technical questions. It's onlineservices@artscouncil.ie, or you can call the Arts Council reception on the numbers below. If your, question is broader than you've run into a technical problem, again, I've just included the local place and public art team emails again there. There's also a very good Arts Council YouTube video on making applications that can be helpful. So here are some tips kind of learned over the years. I mean, I guess the single biggest thing, and I can feel like a hypocrite saying this because I'm often leaving things to the last minute, but please give yourself plenty of time and ideally submit within 48 hours in advance. This means if you run into any problems, there will be time for it to be resolved on our end. You know, the last kind of 24 hours before a deadline, it mightn't be possible to get something resolved. So you really want to kind of give yourself as much time as possible. Understanding, you know, that a lot of different people at different points are, you know, involved in making a decision about your application. So please be as clear as possible, be ambitious, but concise. That can seem contradictory, but really, as if someone is reading about you